Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Fast Panda Gaming live stream. There are many of us this evening. You have myself, Stormshroud. We have Claw. We have Voidspear joining us again. And for the first time on a live stream, but not the first time on the channel, we have Tam, who joined us for Rem Races, you may remember. So there you go. You can now see all four of our ugly mugs on screen at the same time.
Yeah, fortunate people.
And why are there four of us? Well, there are four of us because we are announcing that we will be starting the second season of A Tale of Four Pandas. Because we did one it once, it was fun, so we thought, why not do it again?
Yeah, because I got the military orders army out of it, which I love playing.
Which is very on brand for you. Heavy infantry.
As I look over to Vroid.
Yeah. Army out of it? No, I didn't get an army out of it. No.
So, the purpose of tonight's stream is we're going to talk about what we're all playing or what we're choosing between, because Claw and I have options and we're going to let the good people of the internet choose for us, which may be a mistake.
Yeah, could be.
We might live to regret that decision, but never mind. So, where do we want to start? Have I missed anything first, Claw, about the setup?
Probably.
Okay.
If you're watching this at home and just drop us a thumbs up on the likes for the algorithm monsters. What we'll do is we'll get you to vote on myself and Storms in either the comments now down the side, or if you're watching this later, just pop a comment in the comments below. And then what we'll do is we'll pick that up. But yeah, drop us a like for the algorithm monster. Let's get more people watching Fast Panda so they can get involved in this community that we're building, which I think is awesome. I think that's about it.
So who wants to start? Who wants to announce their decision first? Lloyd, you're last. Just so you know, we were doing you last.
That's fine. That's roughly where I'm going to be in the tournament anyway.
There's a reason for it. It's all about segues and stuff. Trust us, it makes sense. So I'm going to say guests first, because everyone was very quiet.
Okay.
So, Tam, what is your choice for your army for A Tale of Four Pandas?
I'm going vanilla Aleph.
Okay. Why are you going vanilla Aleph?
Because I need to paint them. I'm looking this way.
Honest, at least.
I'm looking this way because they're all over there looking at me. Paint me now.
It's a good reason.
It is, yeah. I got a load when the Steel Phalanx stuff came out. I very excitedly built it, primed it, zenithalled it, put it on a shelf. Forgot about it. Well, didn't forget about it. Just got sidetracked by other things.
I think we've all got. I think we've all got stuff in our cupboard of opportunities like that, haven't we? That we just don't. We buy because we want to make them, and we don't actually get to finish off the army or get stuck into the army. And I imagine lots of people have got a laugh out there that kind of will be in the same position where they've got those big box sets and want to kind of join in.
Yeah.
I mean, I quite often start thinking that won't take very long. I'll just do that. And then before I realise, I've got half a dozen projects which I will just do that. And none of them just get done. So what's your plan for them then, Tam? Do you have a master plan?
Not exactly. I have a plan. I wouldn't say it's a master plan. I've got my 150 starting nailed in. I know what I'm using. But I've gone vanilla over Steel Phalanx because I want to bring in things like Bounty Hunters and Octavia and a few other like Rem Racers and just cool little things that are in the miniatures range that aren't just Myrmidons and Hoplites and
Myrmidons with chain rifles. It's you don't want 4 of those multiple times.
Well, 1 start with. We'll see how it goes.
16 points you can't knock, can you?
No, that's why there's 1 in the starting list.
Yeah. They are too good to leave at home.
It's a nice cheap option.
Okay. Do we have a plan on colour scheme?
It's going to be a very. I keep looking over here because they're over here. Let me just. Because I keep turning it away. It's going to be some variation on the basic sort of box art color scheme. So it's going to be an off-white and a purple-ish color.
So sticking to the studio scheme.
Yeah. I'm going to stick to the studio scheme because I've always liked it. It's one of the things that made ALF appealing to me because it's a nice combination of colors. And it's colors I don't normally paint things in.
You don't
So
normally
it's
get
a little
purples and things. You don't normally see purples and things on an army.
No.
No.
So it's
Although painting white for an army, yeah, great idea.
airbrush, easy.
Ah,
Cheating. But yeah, basing scheme. I haven't got a clue. I haven't even thought about that yet. He says, looking at lots of blank bases. That'll probably be determined by whatever the first battle's going to be.
Okay.
I'll do it to match that, and then just roll with it.
All right.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure the people of chat will be able to offer you much advice on ALF. I can see people already saying that it's a good choice.
Are you happy for people to suggest things if they pop into where you work?
Yeah, and they can also buy them for me over the counter. All contributions greatly received.
Oh, it's the Outpost at Sheffield. If you want to call in there, Tam. I worked with Tam for a few months before I got a proper job again.
I've got a proper job, thank you.
I didn't have a proper job. I was just sat in the back playing on the computer. And yeah, pop into the Outpost, see Tam, give him a friendly advice, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure he'll have a good old chat with you as well.
Always good to talk about toy soldiers.
It is.
Okay. So, Claude, do you want to go next with your selections?
Shall we have a quick catch up on the chat?
We can do that.
Okay. So, Nexus, welcome to Fast Panda membership. Thank you for that. It really is appreciated. Drop us a line. Let us know where you are so I can send you a link to the Discord because we've got quite a decent community now in the Discord. It's quite active. And thank you again for becoming a membership. Transbehemoth, good evening, folks. Good evening. Nexus, actually, evening from sunny Blackpool once more. Is it sunny?
That'll be Tim then.
It's probably not sunny in Blackpool, given that the sun's gone down.
Yeah. If it is Tim, I hope you're feeling better, mate. Ralph, good evening, fellas. Joining you for half an hour before I have to be off. Oh, it's nice that you came along anyway, Ralph. It's appreciated. Philip Davidson, good evening from sunny St. Helens. It must be nice. Is it nice up your end, Void?
No, it's really not. Actually, not too bad. It's fairly mild, but it is the usual 50 Shades of Grey, only not the frisky version.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Clouds. Mr. Hendo P. Good evening, Paul. How you doing, Paul? Transbehemoth says, good choice, Tam. And I'm sure she'll be in to kind of give you advice. She's a local Sheffield.
Greatly taken and easily forgotten.
Dan says, I need to paint them. Sounds like the best reason. It is. I've got them. I need to paint them. That's a good reason. Steve Cooper says, evening all. Talking about Steve Cooper, he is organising a demo day on Saturday in Lincoln. Can you remember what the shop's called?
It's called Imps Gaming.
Imps Gaming. And myself and Storm are going to go and help him out to do some demos. So if you're in the area and you've got a vague, you want to have a go at Infinity, come down, join us. We'll take you through it. We'll show you what to do, how to do it, all that kind of stuff. It's an easy game to pick up, but
or if you've got some friends and you haven't managed to drag them into Infinity, bring them along and we'll beat them into the game for you.
Yeah, we'll introduce them to how easy the game is, really, and how complicated it then goes. once you've figured out that you'd stop moving, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So, Lincoln, Imps Gaming, Saturday, we'll be there. Join us. Be great. Ralph says, Aleph Steel Phalanx is currently incredibly popular on the German Discord I'm on. About everybody's painting them, including me. Steel Phalanx have always been good. Because it's what was one of my first armies, wasn't it, Storm?
It was.
And I loved the Myrmidons. They're just 4 Myrmidons kicking around, the Spitfire one, the chain rifle one, and then a mixture of the rest. Maybe
a hacker and another one.
And a combi rifle one version would be the 4 I'd always bring, and I really enjoyed doing it. And they've always been good. That -6 mimetism. Then you learned about MSV and all that kind of stuff, and then it kind of got less good.
I remember the dark days when you put 4 Achilles down on the table as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
Back in the days of Patroclus and hollow projectors and stuff. Yeah. 4 Achilles on the table, but only one of them is real. You work it out. I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh, good old days. A couple of Dam says, good evening all. Tales of 4 Pandas. Love the previous season. Excellent. We did too. That's why we're doing it again. JTPD, painting white. I've painted lots of stormtroopers in my day. The trick is not to start with white. Leave it for the final highlight.
100% agree.
Transmedia, what is it about the outpost and playing Aleph? That must be.
We have this like weird AI in the back of the shop, and it tells us what to do.
Or Dan.
I couldn't possibly comment.
It's not a contractual obligation then.
Yeah.
Nexus says it is. I am. Thanks. Great, Tim.
Good to hear.
Basically back to normal now. Felt well enough to beat Void last Wednesday. Good lad.
Yeah, rub it in. You're saying about double crits. He's the man who rolls double crits all the time.
Andy Smith. Hello, Harry here at work. What you do? Should you be at work watching this, Andy? Really? Nice to have you along anyway, buddy. Steve Cooper says, thanks for the plug, chaps.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, mate. And Transbehemoth says, Tam, Craig is not an AI.
Yeah. Wasn't referring to Craig.
Okay then. So, Claw, you or me next?
You, mate.
Me. Okay. So, I've got 4 options to pick from. And they are White Company, Deshat, Ikari, or Starco. Now, the smart people will have noticed that they're all mercenary companies. Because that's what I want to do. I want to do with a bit more. I can put a bit more role play flavour into and have a bit more fun with, and come up with a unique name for them, and just do some more conversions. Just have more fun with it rather than just picking a faction and building necessarily the most optimal list. I'm hoping to have a bit more fun, push myself with conversions and modelling, and maybe even on the painting front. But I don't mind which mercenary company out of those 4 it is, but one of those.
Thanks for not doing Drews, by the way.
Okay, you're welcome. I mean, I can get a lot of Drews in Ikari if that's the one that ends up getting picked. But yeah, so I honestly don't mind which one of those it is. And about the only thing,
just for me, because I'm a bit dim. Which ones? Which ones have got a Yujing in it? Which ones have got Pano in it? Which ones?
Okay, broadly speaking, White Company has Yujing and Pano. Deshat is Yujing and Hak Islam. Starco is Ariadna and Nomad. And Ikari is Japanese and a little bit of Yujing and a little bit of Pano remotes. And Ikari is the weirdest of the bunch. And a million Yuan-Yuans. That's the only other thing I remember about Ikari.
Okay. And are you gonna go for what kind of paint scheme are you gonna go for? Have you decided that?
Paint scheme? I haven't. The only thing I've decided on is the basing scheme. So I'm kind of the opposite of Tam. I know nothing other than how I'm going to base them. I've seen a few really cool sort of ideas for basing them on like glacial ice So that's what I'm going to go for.
Cool.
So UV resin with scratches in it and bits of snow, just to create that illusion of depth. That's how the basing scheme I want to go for. So I'm working on the bases at the moment whilst I wait for the models to turn up to put on them, depending on what faction I end up playing. Yeah, I know I'm going to need a whole bunch of 25mm bases. I can sort that bit now. But yes, any opinions, any suggestions, and your vote on what I should play in the comments below, either whilst we're chatting now or when this video goes up later.
Yeah.
Or if you're on our Discord, you can just keep haranguing me on there as well.
So if I just send you a message that says Ikari in all caps every day.
You can do that, Tam, yeah, if that's what you'd like me to play.
Cool.
Then if the Ikari end up doing bad things to Claw and Void, I'm sure they'll complain and say it was all your fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to do last year last season I was very focused on sort of making sure I had a list that was good at each points value. Even though it didn't work, the list I built I thought was quite strong at each points value. This time around I want to focus more on the hobby side, the modelling, the converting and stuff, and then the list will be whatever the list ends up being.
Cool. So one of those. So yeah, get your votes in the chat. I can see a couple coming in now. If you're watching this after the live, pop your comments below. That'll help the algorithm as well. And yeah, Discord, pop it in the Discord. And what we'll do is we'll give you a week. Once we've had a week, we'll have a quick look, see what is the most popular for Storm, and we'll make him do it.
At gunpoint.
Yeah. You volunteered.
I did volunteer.
Any of them, so that would be good.
Yeah. Right. So should we move on to yours or go back to the comments?
Should we have a quick look at the comments to see what people are looking through straight away? Dan says, I really enjoy White Company.
I'll take that as one for White Company.
Yeah. Transmedia says, Starco can bring a hilarious Tag Harris. You can go off people, They'll be getting my vote.
Tag Harris, you say?
I think us three should kind of veto that one out.
Sorry, I'm just thinking, repeating that.
Ralph says, easy choice, Storm Shroud, Deshat Company. Got a lot of hack in it.
I have seen some ludicrous lists you can take with Deshat. The combinations are just hilarious. And it would give me a second excuse to buy and paint a second Magariba Guard.
What do you want two for?
It would be different armies. Well, that's the other thing. Everything I do for this army, same as last time, will be painted new. So if I need another war core, I'm going to have to paint another war core. Because, I'm a weird, twisted individual who likes to give myself more work.
Yes, why not? Space Ranger says NA2 is fun, allows for most creativity. Proxies are must but welcome. I think you can, like you said, you can do lots of conversions and messing around and all that kind of thing with that. So I think probably is a good choice. Steve Cooper says based on the basis of snow basis. And then I can talk proper, honestly.
On the basis of snow basis, surely White Company is a good fit. Is that what you're trying to say?
Let me say it. On the basis of the snow basis, surely the White Company is a good fit. See, I can say it.
Well done.
Star now. So yeah, Steve says White Company has two for White Company. Richard Rushthorpe says, do you two have look, laughing makes it worse. Do you two not have everything anyway? No, we don't. We've got quite a big gap.
There are gaps, certainly with regards to specific sectorials, but it is one of the reasons I wanted to do a mercenary company, because it gives me the chance to do something different that I don't really have. The Spiral Core don't feel like a proper merc company to me.
No, it's the remainder. It's the
Toha Remainer.
Yeah. Hoppy Starco is great. Always thought about giving them a try because of the fluff and amazing models. So we kind of we are kind of getting a spread of them all so far, Storm. So this is going to be interesting. Peter and Hertz says, if you want to get Storm Shroud Cry, let him build JSA.
I actually have JSA. I just never use them on the channel because I painted up the starter box and only changed all the points values, and now it doesn't work anymore. And I've never got right around to painting any.
And Ralph says Deshat has the ultimate Libertos.
True.
So you have certainly got a spread of everything. So I think it's going to be close. So get your votes in, one way or another, and we'll see what comes out on top. JSA, yeah, JSA. Because
JSA aren't on the list. I gave you 4 options, and JSA aren't one of the 4.
It's JSA.
Ikari are quite JSA-y.
Yeah. Mr. NDP says Team Ikari. So yeah, he's helping you. Okay, so next
that would be you. So your options are?
My options. I've gone again, like Tam, thinking there's stuff I want to paint here. I've looked at my pile of opportunity, and I've got some collections appearing that I want to get done that I haven't got, such as I've just obtained a lot of built but unpainted combined army from Tam. Thank you, mate. Another one of your armies. So in there's a lot of Morats, and I've always loved the Morats, but Storm's always had Morats in the combined army. So for me to have that army, I've not really on the channel. Storm's always had it. He's always got a good army, so it's not something I've ever really had a chance to do. So to do that would be great. Have a more, and I've gone for Morats because it's just angry monkeys, and you've seen enough of my videos now. You know what I like. I like the heavy, angry stuff that charges forward without regard for its own personal safety. So yeah, I think that suits me. And there's all the new models, so they're all good. They're kind of weird Viking-looking ones and whatever they're called. Weird names to them.
Just make some vowel sounds and then end it with at, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So the Morats, I thought I'd put that one down because it was something I would love to paint. Another one was the Bakunin. Corvus Belli being the wonderful company they are, they sent us the box set through, and I've not done anything with it. I tried playing with the Nomads before, Corregidor, wasn't it? Yeah, the Corregidor army, which it never really lifted off, but I wanted that Nomad army because I want the Space Wizards. I want to do the hacking. I want to do all that kind of stuff. And with the Bakunin, I want to play the fairies. I want to do the zeros. I want to do base stuns, all that kind of stuff. The hacking tag, all that stuff as well. They're in boxes waiting to be done. And then finally, I've got the big army box of Ariadne.
The start collecting box.
Yeah, the start collecting box with 30 odd models in.
Oh, the collection.
Yeah, the collection, the big one. Because I traded in a lot of GW models to the Outpost.
Bless you.
Yeah. Shout out if you want to trade any GW models in, go to the Outpost. Ask for Carl. Just don't give him any photographs. Only just pile them at him. He'll sit down and add it all up.
He won't, because he'll just give it to me to do. Thanks for that, by the way.
And I got a load of credit, so I wanted to spend that credit straight away because that's the kind of person I am. So I got this the Ariadne starter box, and again, I've played against fairies and Ariadne who are immune to proper bullets, and just they've got no hacking. They don't care about hacking. They just hack this gun. Yeah, it's great. And again, Storm Shrouds had that army and got a good selection of that army. So it's something I've never really needed to do for the channel. So it's something I've never had got a chance to do. So that's why I've got the Ariadne on there. So I've got Ariadne Vanilla because I thought I'll go for Vanilla, kind of covers all kinds of things. And it will give me that Vanilla option, which we haven't had before. And then I've got the Bakunin because I want space nuns with guns and stuff. And then we've got the Morats, Angry Monkeys. So that is up to you. Let me know what you'd like me to do, because they're all different. They're all very different styles of armies. Yeah, that's enough for me rambling, I think. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, am I allowed to disown you as a friend if you choose if Bakooning gets picked?
Do you have any paint scheme plans for anything, or are you going to stick close to the...
Well, no, I very rarely stick to the paint scheme. I think the Shazvasti is about the closest I've done to the kind of standard pack.
Your Corregidor's pretty close.
Yeah, they're red and black and things, so they may be. But mostly I kind of do my own thing because I look at the box art and think I'll never be that good, so I'll just do my own thing. The Ariadne's probably going to be a green camo type thing. The Bakooning probably going to be red and black, like the rest of my nomads. So if I do a nomad army, it'll kind of go together. And the Morats, I ain't got a clue. I really haven't got a clue. I will probably have to ask you guys for pictures of your Morats so I can have a quick look at those and see what colour schemes work and don't work. So that would be a good thing to do. The bases wise, though, I've seen, it's going to be a base. I've seen some alien bases because I haven't got alien bases. No, with alien tentacles and foliage and all that kind of stuff on. I fancy something like that, an alien planet type base.
Okay, something like gribbly and weird.
Something gribbly and moist, yeah.
There's a horrible thought.
I'm really interested to see which one you end up doing.
Yeah,
I think Morats and Bakooning will be a more natural fit for you. Yeah. Things like what are they called? The equivalent of the Teutonics that Bakooning get. It'll come to me in a bit. Cenobites, thank you. You'll like those with their -6 mimetism charge because they'll feel very you. Yeah. Ariadne, I'm less sure of because it's quite different to a lot of what you play.
I'd have to take all the orders like you do.
Yeah. And again, if you go in vanilla, you wouldn't have a fire team to fall back on. You just have all the options and all the camo and all the other bits and pieces.
2 or 3 bears. Can you get bears in fire teams?
You can't get bears in fire teams. You can get bears in vanilla. Okay.
Would you like to see what people are saying?
I just saw. I glanced across and saw lots of comments about JSA, and I'm sure that wasn't one of the options I put up.
Looks like you're doing JSA then, still.
Do you want to read out what people are saying about me?
I can give it a go. Hang on, bear with me. Switching windows.
Philip Davidson's voting for JSA.
Yeah, so we'll ignore that one. Hoppy wants to know if it's a draw, do I have to play multiple armies? Well, if mine's a draw and Claw's is a draw, then yes. If I have to pay multiple armies, so does he. But I think one's enough. One is definitely going to be enough.
Yeah.
Transbehemoth, apes together strong. That sounds like a vote for Morats. Peter wants you to do Bakooning because he's also doing one, and it feels great.
Yeah. Cool. What part of this 4 Pandas, Tale of 4 Pandas, is you can build another army at home and start off with 150 points, then 200 points, 250, then 4. And if you've got a couple of guys or just a friend of mine, if you've got a friend at the same time, you can start this army, go through it with us, and we'll kind of what we do is we'll be doing vlogs and things as we go, and gives you inspiration, all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of work. And you never know, at the end, once you've got 300 points, give us a call and drop us a line and come and join us on the channel, and we'll play you.
Yeah, we will lose to anybody. It's not a problem. Richard Rushforth says he's not sure you'll enjoy Ariadne. He thinks monkeys for you.
I don't enjoy playing against them. I know that.
You don't enjoy what you refer to as the furries. You get very annoyed with them.
That's because they ignore double action bullets and explosive bullets and things like that. They just don't care.
I'm sure you'll find it much more enjoyable if you were using them yourself.
Yeah.
Psychotic Storm says, good evening. Hello, nice of you to join us. Mr. Hendo says, Ariadna, break your heavy infantry addiction, Claw. I think he's a goner. I don't think there's any saving him from that. I think his heavy infantry addiction is there for life.
That's heavy. I've seen heavy infantry in there. The Russians.
Psychotic Storm says he's not sure what my options were. You can go back, but they were basically mercenary companies: Deshat, Ikari, White Company, or Starco.
And JSA, apparently.
No, I never said that.
Just Ikari, though. Every JSA vote's a vote for Ikari.
I'm going to take it that way. That's what I'm assuming. But as far as your options go, Claw, he would really like to see you play Bakunin. He thinks Morat will be a better feel and a better fit. Peter's back. Ariadne is his personal hate. There's nothing to hack, and the bear is a permanent pain in the ass.
That's how I feel. That is how I feel, and that's what I would like one of those to make them a pain in the ass.
The best way to understand the weaknesses of something is to use it yourself.
Yeah, and then when people beat you, you find out how.
Yeah. Jericho votes for Ariadna for you, Claw.
Yeah.
Ralph, however, votes for Morats for you because it's a natural fit. Yeah. People know you so well.
Angry space monkey.
Philip Davidson is voting for Claw to play Bakunin. Hoppy is also voting Morats for you, sir. Dan Falk has joined you. Hi Dan. Ariadna has some great heavy infantry, but a lot of them are not hackable, which is always a plus. He thinks Ariadna gets his votes, although he then hedges and says, or maybe Morats. Ralph has disappeared. Goodbye, Ralph. Peter was back with the best play style. Bakunin wins. Great style and fantastic background story.
Yeah, they do. I do kind of like that. It is drawn to me in.
Psychotic Storm is saying, Deshat is closer to what I play. Ikari is an interesting departure. Yeah, Ikari is basically evil fun JSA. Yes, you're right, Rich. I can't argue with you on that. I have a feeling I know what I'm going to be playing. I might well be able to start my planning this evening. I don't have to wait a week.
JSA.
Nexus is planning. Apparently, they're planning a slow grow league at their friendly local game store soon. I'm looking forward to it. I don't blame you. It's great fun. It is something I definitely encourage more people to do. It's wonderful. Coyote BD says one day his daughter is going to convince his wife to take her to a Chelsea game, and he'll bring his models just so he can come over and get a game. That sounds like an excellent idea.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome.
And just think about it. I have 2 Anacondas and a Trip Hammer in a Harry's, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm going to end up playing Ikari based on what people are saying. And I think that's a hi from Luke. Hi, Luke.
Hi. Cool.
Okay, I think that's us all caught up, I think.
I think so. And we do the final.
So, the final reveal.
So, it's not going to be that reveal.
What's your choice for this second season? Are we doing another combined army?
I get the distinct impression here I may have drawn the short straw. But no, do you know, I'm actually quite envious about you guys with your options a little bit. It's kind of exciting. But I have gone for the army that has met with nothing but praise and support for their aesthetics. And no one's ever had a bad word to say about them or a dodgy meme whatsoever since they were announced just a couple of weeks ago. So yes, I'm going for shiny new Space Popo.
We've got an early copy, so what we're going to do is we're going to send the early copy over there so we can kind of get started. So when you guys at home have got the boxes in your hands, you can build along and all that kind of stuff. So it would be great if you got the Torchlight, you can kind of join Steve Voidspear, and you can build along and build lists with him.
Yeah, no doubt your list will be 10 times better than mine. The only thing I'm going to say is, going back to the heavy infantry addiction, is I'm going to be back in my happy place. No more it's an entire sectorial based on heavy infantry. which probably means I'm going to walk straight into a repeater net and instantly regret my decision on the first game. But we'll see how that goes.
So you're voting that Claw plays Ariadne, so at least one of us won't have hackers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Although I did roll out my vanilla 012 a couple of weeks ago to a JSA army, and I'm going for a colonoscopy on Monday to see if I can retrieve the Shikami that was inserted in me not orally. So yes, but yes, shiny space popo. Several reasons for this. A, heavy infantry, love it. I have to admit, I really don't mind the aesthetic. I actually kind of like it. It's a departure from the normal side of things. So I'm going to give it a definite go. I'm not. Everyone I've seen on the internet keeps going, "Oh, I'm going to have to clip the helmets off the Silver Star Rovers." No, I'm going to keep them. There's a chance I may go with that meme that's going around on Facebook at the minute, where they've got the flashing lights from the police car on the top of the actual headdress. That looks like a cool idea.
Blue and a red one. Yeah.
But I have been busy, and I have a test scheme. It's not finalised, but I figured something like this might work. Now, it's not coming through my camera very well, but basically it is the traditional 012 blue, but instead of the yellow, I've gone for an orange, and I've also included some white on the trim as well. Several reasons for that. When I thought about this, I thought, do you know what? I am going to paint them as Ultramarines. I'm going to put Ultramarine symbols on them. I'm going to wind up everybody in the internet. But I spoke to a friend of mine on the internet a while ago, and I said what I was planning on buying. And instantly he told me that, oh, you shouldn't do that. Games Workshop have already started a legal challenge. It's just one of those that's like, stop believing what you read on the internet. It's no. So I figured I couldn't be bothered with the hate of the entire internet if I tried to do it in Ultramarine. So I'm only going to wind up one person and one person only, and that is Claw, because you may notice that my colour scheme is surprisingly familiar to anyone who's American football fans. Admittedly, yeah.
Thanks to Russell Wilson, by the way. He's a bargain. Cheers, mate.
Not a problem. Anyway, but yeah. So I'm going to carry on with the actual blue itself. The orange, I figured A, to wine claw, but B, quite a lot of my armies have got a sort of a yellow highlight in them. My Shazvasti has it, my Tunguska has it, and I'm getting a bit bored of it, to be honest. So I figured I'd give orange a go, because I looked back through all my armies that I have painted, which isn't very many, but models I've painted. And orange doesn't feature very much, so give myself a challenge there. I am going to base them. So last time round, I'm usually a traditional black basist. I am going to give basing a go this time round. Kind of got an idea of, I kind of like the idea of this whole sort of new planet thing, but I also kind of like the idea that maybe Torchlight are the guys they're sending into the quantum anomaly zones to help people out and things like that. And I kind of like the idea of going into this sort of weird, desolate, weird kind of thing. So if anyone's played sort of any of the Dragon Age computer games, so think the sort of disaster with crystals of red lyrium sticking up and stuff like that. It's probably going to last all of 2 minutes, because I suddenly realised I don't know how to base. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to fail. I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to go back to black bases. But at least that's my intention for now, anyway.
Cool.
Wonderful. So we have one Olaf, one Torchlight, and then Claw, you have either Ariadne, Bakunin, or Morats.
Yeah.
And I apparently am playing Ikari Company. I mean, there were some other options, but that doesn't seem to have made it to the comment section. Or Deshat, or Starco, or Whitecomb. There were a couple of votes for some of the others, yeah. It didn't look close when I last glanced over. Okay, so given that we're now talking about Torchlight, it's probably a good point to segue into the profiles that we saw.
Should we just catch up with the...
Oh, you want to catch up with comments first? That probably makes sense.
First. Luke Martin says, I tune in, and what do I hear? JS8, best channel ever. Yeah, okay, yeah, and he's got the JSA option as well.
I didn't say JSA.
Tim says, he is the law. That's, I imagine, Tim, you might be playing this army, so it'd be cool.
Yes, I've been on the receiving end of a proxy version of it the other day, so I can attest it's a good army.
Yeah. Psychotic Storm says, not a bad choice. It'd be interesting to see. Richard Russthorpe says, Torchlight has to be painted white. It is the law. Peter Annert says, oh, this will be evil. TB is board control by mining all and kill you with evil peripherals with shotguns. I think it will fit perfectly to Void Spear. So heavy infantry with little robots running around shooting me. Yeah. Carrick says, please do the UK police theme. I think the bill. I think that's another theme tune to the bill. I think we need that.
Definitely.
Nexus says, been looking deep into Torchlight. They're not just heavy infantry. Seems to be a good 2-list variation. Steve Cooper says, I'm with Void, and I seem to be holding a torch for Torchlight. Storm says, orange is such a lovely colour. Yeah. I think other than my monks, I don't think I've really got anything that's orange. Kirk says, yeah, orange is lovely, and orange and blue is fire. Next is off to play Cyberpunk. Now, catch up later. See you later, Tim.
Bye, Tim.
And we are all called up. And Torchlight, we've had since 2 weeks ago, we did a quick go through with the Torchlight stuff. We've had lots of releases since then with the army and the profiles and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, I think as you were alluding to earlier, Storm,
we should have a chat about the Torchlight profiles that we've seen and that have gone up in army. So I think this is only fair that Void kicks us off on this. Which profiles in Torchlight have really got your attention?
Well, I mean, to be honest, all of them. But actually, ironically, the one thing that I picked up the most on of the new profiles that have come out was already an O12 profile anyway, and may or may not probably feature as a lieutenant at some point, which is the Raven Iron +1 lieutenant order profile that's suddenly appeared in army, which was great.
But only for Torchlight. He is a far better lieutenant in Torchlight than he is for regular O12.
He's just not putting the effort in for everybody else.
No, apparently not.
No.
I don't know whether this lot are offering him a medal or something, but yeah, he's definitely motivated now.
And with the amount of NCO you've got knocking around in the faction as well, the +1 orders is like, I mean, the internet's been comparing it to the Dao Ying. I'm not entirely convinced it's as good as the Dao Ying, because the Dao Ying's usually under a camo marker as well. But it is very, 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 very good profile. It's only like 16 points, I think.
It's a lot cheaper than the Dao Ying profile.
Yeah.
The Dao Ying's 22, which is an auto include. And that will probably be an auto include for you, lieutenant, for everybody who plays it at 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I was saying this earlier on. The Silver Star Prime is probably something I'm going to be putting in a list, almost every single list, because I just looked at it and went, yeah, no, big chunky heavy infantry, back in my happy place, definitely running that. Especially in the trial game I played against Tim, that ballistic skill attack -3 is actually really, really significant, because it's especially significant for ARO pieces because you can't get rid of it.
You can't mitigate it.
No.
There's nothing you can do to get around it.
So
I did spot that.
And if you're not running an actual fire team, which is perfectly viable if you want to run, for example, a pure core, and then you have the Silver Star as maybe another attack piece. But having that as the lieutenant profile is actually quite a good idea as well. Or at least initial thoughts anyway. I'm probably going to get proved wrong on all.
Going back to the Raven episode, there's also the Chain of Command profile, which again has Holomask, same as the Lieutenant option. So you have a degree of protection against running an aggressive Lieutenant.
Yeah, you've also got the Ment Agent as well, which I've used in some of my O12 lists, which is quite good.
Yeah. The value of Holomask, without other things there to play the shell game with, because let's be honest, that Raven-Eyed Lieutenant is great for all the orders it brings, but you're not going to be holomasking it as anything that is likely to take a shot. It's still going to be hidden in a building, round a corner, inside a dumpster, wherever it can be that's safe. So I don't know how much the holomask is going to help disguise it, but certainly would help with if you've got a couple of kappas or other bits and pieces to as cheerleaders, then yeah, I think you get a lot of value out of it. Although you do have to paint twice as many models then.
This is true. I mean, the problem you've got if you try and holomask it as a Kappa is Kappas are only AVA1 in there, so yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I haven't spotted that.
So it's one of those. I'm not sure. It's going to be harder to holomask it effectively, I think, just because you don't have a lot of spods that you can just sit in the backfield anyway. But it probably is going to be something to play around with anyway.
No, it's definitely a strong profile, and it wasn't even one of the new models that they released. I thought the profiles that we got for the Silver Star Rovers, which are quite nice. I like the fact that they're all specialist operatives. If you're building your fire team around them, they're heavy infantry and availability 5.
Yeah.
You can definitely get a few of them. Having everyone in the fire team a specialist by default on a heavy infantry fire team like that could be quite useful.
Yeah, I did notice that from the ones that went up that Carlos was previewing, I think they've lost one of the attack awareness profiles. Because I think there was about 3 or 4 in the one that they previewed, and there's only 2 available in Army now.
What are you saying? Cover's Belly adjust things as they go on the fly because they've made mistakes? Never.
Oh, no, it's fine. It was just one of those, when I originally looked at it, I went, how much attack aware? I'm going to be running the full fire team of that then. But, I mean, it's not list limiting, because, I mean, your attack aware, one of them's combi rifle with a tin bot, which chances are if you're running a heavy link team anyway, you want the tin bot anyway. So it's not as if the attack aware is on weird profiles that you're not going to take. So it's not too bad. It's just it seemed to be a reduction going from what they showed and eventual drop in Army.
Looking at them, they look like an O12 version of the Terracotta from Yijing.
There's definitely similarities, I think, with Terracotta and, not counting the tactical awareness side of it, Orcs as well, so from something like Varuna.
Yeah.
Because you've got the Timbot variant in there. And was it the Wave Riders, isn't it? The Cyber Combat, they count as Silver Stars if you put them in a fire team together.
Yeah, so Wave Riders, Hellblazers, and Silver Stars all count as pure
Silver Stars, yeah. So you can put a decent hack.
Yeah, you can put a decent hack. The one that the other thing I'm quite excited about, because I honestly thought they'd nerf the profile, is Hippolyta can go in there. And she's carrying Eclipse, so they haven't got rid of Eclipse. And she still makes the fire team pure. She counts as a Silver Star.
Does she?
Yeah, I'm just looking now, yeah. Same with Sonia, whoever she is.
Sonia LaCroix, yeah. She's the new Diaphos that's going to come out.
She's coming out in the Diaphos pack with a resculpt of Lupe Balboa. Is it Lupe? Yeah, that's his name.
Dragon Lady.
Dragon Lady. And a very cool looking HVT, the roller derby girl. With her.
I can't unsee the pizza slice though. I've seen it now and I can't unsee it.
I was going to say with the tactical ramp.
Tactical Half-Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do go back to what we were saying about the Silver. I do like that you can put the Wave Riders, who are all hackers, in the fire team with the tin bot to give them a bit more protection on top of their BTS 6. That can be very painful.
Yeah, especially, I mean, they're only whip 13, which I suppose if you give them whip 14, they'd be a little bit broken. But seeing how my usual nemesis is completely forgetting about repeaters and walking into them, at least it'll give me, hope of not doing it, only doing it once and maybe escaping.
Plus one burst Oblivion is not to be sniffed at now.
No, not at all. I like Oblivion. It's a really good program. Were there any other profiles that got you salivating, Lloyd? And you're thinking, I must include that as I'm going through? Because I know you like your tags. Did the Wrecker appeal to you?
Actually, do you know what? I love my tags. But I was actually saying to Tim, I'm not... The Wrecker's a great profile, but it's not one that stood out for me. I can actually see this as being possibly one of my first armies that I'm not running a tag.
It's distinctly average, I think, the Wrecker.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly usable. And it's perfectly... I mean, it costs about the same as the Silver Star Prime. So you can easily squeeze both in if you wanted in the list. And it's certainly an option I'll probably play around with, but it wasn't one of the profiles that actually spoke to me. I think the other profiles that are sticking out were the I think, is it the Moonrakers, the camouflage bots,
the O12 version of Longfar from Yujing,
yes,
except they are Silhouette 2.
Silhouette 2 instead of Silhouette 4, yeah.
Yeah.
So those combined with the Striders, and saw a couple of things people were floating around on these nets. Like you can literally play a massive mind game in the midfield because you can end up with something like some 6 to 8 camo tokens there that your opponent roughly knows what they are, but which one's which, because they all come with mind layer profiles.
If you're immune to shock.
Forward deployment 8 inches as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forward deployment, there's a lot of camouflage, and there's a lot of mind layer in those profiles, I agree.
Yeah.
It's definitely a heavy midfield army.
It's a really good board control army. It's one of the things I spotted, because I do like my board control on my mines, as any long-term viewers of the channel will be able to vouch for. And Claw is having flashbacks. It's okay, come back to the room. Come on, back in the room.
I have to admit, when they're doing the reveals for these, I was going through the checklist going, heavy infantry, can kill things, yep. Got lots of tricks in the midfield, yep. Got hackers to defend and Timbot, yep. Got drop troops, yep. That's like, brilliant. The only thing it's missing is a sniper, which you actually, to be honest, with all the rest of the things you're going, you don't really need it. The Nimrod kind of plays the role, but it's only an AP marksman rifle, but it's linkable. And it now means that once you get out your deployment zone, you're still useful with the AP marksman rifle, as opposed to by the time you get to the halfway line, it's like, yeah, the sniper rifle's not doing much anymore.
He's not bad with MSV2, mimetism, and super jump.
Yeah.
Or this forward deployment 8 inches, hidden deployment.
I can see that being one of those tricks that the first time you pull it off, it'll feel so broken, and then you won't be able to pull it off again. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this because it is ticking a lot of the boxes, and I'm not doing my usual, I'm going to step outside my comfort zone and challenge myself. No, this is my comfort zone.
I must say, when all the profiles released, I thought it looked really nice, and the way they all fit together, I think there's a lot of potential here to have a lot of fun. I'll be looking forward to doing a lot of these models and building out from my O12 from last season's Tale of Four Pandas with them at some point in the future. So I shall be watching what you do with interest and taking notes.
Yeah, roughly translated, whatever I don't do, it's probably the worst option.
I wouldn't say that. Do you want to catch up on comments, Claude, before we... or did you guys have any more comments on the profiles at all? Because you've been quite quiet.
Go on.
I said, to be fair, it's the first time I've properly actually looked at some of them. Because O12's never been a faction I've been interested, so I'm just like, yeah, Space Police. But they've got some really nice profiles in there. Some really nice units. I like the look of the, where'd they gone? The Wetworks, the Nimrod Wetworks department, with the, that we spoke about.
It's a great name.
And it is, yeah.
I'm not sure it's a name that's translates particularly well. It has different meanings, and certainly, you say Nimrod, I think idiot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends how the dice roll, doesn't it?
Usually badly.
And the Nightshades look like they could be quite good as well. But you only get to take one. They've got a lot of words, which usually means they're fun.
Yeah, I love the idea of the Nightshades, but it's weird because it's basically a ninja that doesn't have a lethal weapon. It's a para CCW.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be wrong. I wouldn't want to be in close combat with it because you're going to get frozen. But it does seem to be a bit... It's like, yes, we've got this stealth assassin ninja that's just going to freeze you.
Yeah, and you can't take the drop bears with the shotgun option, which is like, that would be the dream.
3 of the profiles also have decharges, so you could paralyze them and then just go, watch. You watching? Click!
Yeah.
Dink!
To be fair, yeah, that is a good point. It's just when I looked at the profiles and it's all Para CCW, I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, they look like they've got a lot of play. I mean, martial arts, the mimetism, forward deployment, hidden deployment, surprise attack, super jump, and they're not too expensive. I think you should certainly. One of those would be fun just to annoy your opponent for a turn or two for a few orders.
I definitely think it's definitely on the tick list for the minute it gets released, getting a copy of it. Especially if I'm going to be going up against JSA.
Especially if the sculpt looks anything like the artwork as well. I'm just going to gloss over what you said. So, comments-wise, where are we up to?
Okay, we've got. Yeah, would love to see somebody playing Varuna. Says okay, 3 Heliots in a slow rose is pure fun. Psychotic Storm says that's quite evil. Richard Rushford, Hollow Mask on that Raven Eye Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Well, you Hollow Masked your Knight Commander as your Knight of Justice. And
that is true. I did do that. That was mostly to play with Claw's head, though, as he's trying to work out what's what, because he knows military orders very well.
It just kind of, the points did not add up, and I could not work out why. Because you had 2 of them.
Yep. It was also to help hide that Trinitarian sniper.
Yeah, they don't have snipers, do they? Okay, mistakes were made. It's not like it's on the YouTube forever, is it? Mr. NOP says, take 2 Raven Eye, Hollow Mask the LT, to a Raven Eye loadout that cannot be the LT.
That is pure evil. I love it. Thanks, Paul.
But they've all got the same guns.
Yeah, but it's not. Jericho says, go for Silver Star Core and Hollow Mask the Raven Eye as 1 Silver Star. I think I can see Voids playing with our heads with every single game we play, I think, with this. Psychotic Storm says, quite a good game, by the way. Haven't commented on it, but I liked.
And I think this is the unmasking game that we played.
Oh, right. Haven't commented. Well, I like the game with both, especially the claws. Richard says, Hollow Mask as a Met Agent. Which one's the Met Agent?
Met Agent
reinforcement one.
Is one of the ones that comes in the reinforcement. They've got, they're all chain of command. They've got biometric visors. I want to say there's a hacker profile. Is that right? I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
So why would you kill the chain of command until you find the lieutenant? That's a good thing. I think there's some definitely mind games going to come with this Hollow Mask thing. Storm says, but I must say both of you remembered that KHD has Cybermask.
I do remember. When I'm building the list, I generally don't forget in the game, or I don't have the orders to Hollow Mask and to use the Cyber Mask to then get to where I want to. Yeah, it is a useful program that I don't think gets used enough. Certainly not in games I've seen.
Yeah, we forget. We get excited and forget. Richard says Moonraker is the best profile. You know what? I'm not sure about that. I do think it's a poor. If you're playing with somebody and you know that that's what they bring, you can counter that pretty easily. I think. With shock immune and all that kind of stuff. So it might be interesting. Bring a bear, that'd be fine.
Still counts as normal. Still a wound, potentially.
AP continuous damage on the Wrecker heavy rocket launcher is powerful because of the template. And it's plus 1.
That's true. I completely forgot about that when we were talking about the Wrecker. Yeah, because it's got AP automatically in all its ballistics skill attacks, including its chain rifles as well.
Yeah, and it's
AP chain rifles. Oh.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. So perhaps that Tag has got something going for it after all.
Yeah, do you know what? You reminded me of that, and I'm now going in my head. Why didn't I think it was a good profile? Why? But yeah.
Yeah, it's got +1 damage, AP, everything's AP, and then you've got +1 burst for that heavy rocket launcher.
So damage 14 armor piercing chain rifles with an extra burst
as well.
That's so good.
Yes. Yeah, I think Void. I think you should go with your initial assessment. Don't take the wrecker. There's no value in the wrecker.
Yeah, don't take the wrecker.
Yeah.
Nightshades also got shock close combat weapon. Police ninja though, surprise truncheon.
They don't like it up 'em, sir.
Space Ranger says, I love saying that Nightshade with surprise. Yeah, you're at -12 with your ARO.
Jesus.
That -12 always gets you. And same, yeah, -12 from Richard as well. Crouching Otter. I'm late, so I'm watching from the start. My vote Storm Show is Dishat, and based on the paint scheme on the colours of their logo. Yeah, cool.
Interesting, yeah. And it's not a vote for JSA, so yay.
And Andy Smith is still at work watching YouTubes. Cheers, buddy.
Hopefully his boss is not also watching YouTube.
Right
then, we have wittered for just over an hour. So unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up, I think we should probably be thinking about wrapping this up. So, Tam, any final words?
No, I'm just thank you for including me.
You are more than welcome.
I'm very excited for this little tale of 4 pandas.
You're welcome.
As far as we're concerned, we get an army at the end of it, which is great. And after last one, 75% of us enjoyed it.
And Void Bim got a surprise army.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be selling an Aleph army at the end of it.
But it'll be fully painted.
Well, yeah. 300 points of it will be.
Yeah. Any closing word from yourself, Void?
Other than commence operation, get the rules right and don't come last? No.
That's a funny.
If you want to get the rules right, what are you doing playing with us?
I'm just trying to gloss over my major faux pas with the Shazvasti rule.
Oh, that was fine. No one noticed that. We'd all forgotten all about it.
That's why we do this thing. We put our games on the internet so people can tell us how to play it. That's why we do it.
One way of doing it.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, thank you guys for joining us this evening and for weighing in with your opinions. It is really good fun to see you guys give us your idea of what you think we should do. I look forward to you all chiming in and helping, not hindering us through the process. So no giving us really bad ideas and then laughing evilly when we do what you suggested, thinking it's a good idea. But yeah, growing this community and you guys coming along on the journey with us is going to be great fun. And I'll leave you the last words, Claw.
If you're still watching it, drop us a like for the algorithm monsters. Votes for myself, whether it's Bakooning, Ariadne, or Morats. Drop a comment in the comment below or the sides. We'll add it all up. Same with Storm. If
Which of the mercenary company it is, yeah.
Which of the Mercari company it is. So drop those. We'll toss them up, and in a week's time, we'll drop it on Facebook and whatnot. And we'll let people know that we're actually what we're picking. And then in a couple of weeks' time, we'll have a vlog, and we'll start like we did last time. We'll be doing the vlogs and things, so you can join in, help us, let us know which profiles are good, which are not so good, so we can kind of build up that first 150 points, so we can have his first match. I think that's about it. I don't think I've missed anything.
No. And if you're about in Lincoln on Saturday, pop into Imp Gaming and we'll see you there.
And with that, we'll join you in the next one.